Welcome to the Grim Tapes. Tonight, we dive into one of the most disturbing, chilling, and controversial legends of the underground media world, the alleged existence of real snuff films. For decades, rumors of films that capture actual murders have plagued internet forums, crime archives, and late-night horror discussions. But what is the truth behind these tales? Are they real, or are they merely urban legends born from fear and fueled by our darkest curiosities? In this feature-length episode, we explore the origins of the snuff film myth, the psychological and cultural impact of these stories, the most infamous alleged cases, law enforcement perspectives, hoaxes, moral panics, and how the internet age has changed the narrative around this horrifying concept. We ask the question, have we ever truly seen a real snuff film, or have we only seen the illusion of one? Let's begin. Defining the legend. To understand the fear surrounding snuff films, we must first define what they are rumored to be. A snuff film, according to the legend, is a motion picture that shows a real-life murder being committed on camera, specifically for the purpose of distribution, profit, or entertainment. This concept is distinct from actual crime scene footage or war documentation. The key difference lies in intention. Snuff films are supposedly created for an audience, deliberately filmed with the victim suffering as the centerpiece. But here's the question, has such a thing ever been proven to exist? The origins, where the legend began. The snuff film legend first began circulating in the 1970s. The word snuff, slang for killing, was popularized by the 1976 exploitation film titled Snuff, directed by Michael and Roberta Findlay. This low-budget horror film claimed to feature an actual murder at the end of the movie. Audiences were shocked. Some believed what they were seeing was real. But later, it was revealed that the murder scene was staged, a publicity stunt meant to generate controversy and ticket sales. And it worked. The myth was born. Media headlines, politicians, and moral activists seized on the idea. Could these films be real? Could people truly be murdered for entertainment? The panic grew, despite the lack of verifiable evidence. Political panic and media hysteria. In the 1980s and 1990s, concerns over violent media surged. The rise of home video and the underground film market brought new fears. Urban legends flourished, stories of films traded on the black market that featured brutal murders, torture, and worse. Politicians in several countries attempted to investigate claims, especially in the wake of sensational crimes. But again, no real snuff film was ever confirmed. Most so-called examples were found to be either fictional horror content, mockumentaries, or grotesque hoaxes. Still, the legend refused to die. The deep web and modern darkness. With the rise of the internet and later the dark web, new spaces emerged where anonymous users could share disturbing material. This added a new dimension to the myth. Forums, anonymous boards, and even video-sharing websites became breeding grounds for rumors. Users would claim to have seen or possessed real snuff films. Names like Daisy's Destruction began circulating. But once again, investigations revealed that these were extreme abuse videos, not the stylized, profit-driven snuff films the legend described. It was horrifying. It was real violence. But it wasn't what the snuff film legend had suggested, planned, cinematic murder for mass viewing. Law enforcement and investigations. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI and Interpol, have looked into snuff film allegations. In every publicly known case, they found no verifiable evidence of snuff films created and distributed commercially. However, crimes captured on camera, like torture, executions, and serial killer trophies, have existed. In some murder cases, killers filmed their crimes for personal reasons. But none were made for profit or public release in the manner snuff films are often imagined. The myth remains just that, a myth. Notorious cases and hoaxes. Let's discuss some of the most well-known and terrifying cases associated with snuff legends. The Guinea Pig series, a Japanese horror series so realistic that actor Charlie Sheen believed he had seen a real murder and reported it to the FBI. The films were later confirmed to be special effects. The Paul Bernardo tapes, real footage of torture and murder, but recorded by the killer for personal satisfaction, not public distribution. Three Guys One Hammer, a video leaked online showing a real murder by the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs. Horrific, real, but again, not created for profit. Daisy's Destruction, a real and disturbing child abuse video created by Peter Scully. While it shocked the world, it does not fit the snuff film definition exactly. Each of these examples toes the line, but none fully validate the classic snuff film legend. Why the myth persists? Why do we continue to believe in snuff films? There are several reasons. Fear of the unknown, the idea that there are horrors we haven't seen. Moral panic, every generation faces a media-based moral panic. Snuff films fit perfectly into that mold. Internet culture, shock content thrives online. Even hoaxes and staged videos can be mistaken for real. True crime obsession, our growing fascination with real-life horror feeds the legend. Psychologically, snuff film legends represent a boundary, the final taboo. Something so horrific, we almost want to believe it exists, to confirm our darkest fears about humanity. Cinema, snuff, and fiction versus reality. Many horror films have leaned into snuff imagery. Movies like 8mm, Cannibal Holocaust, and August Underground play with the snuff concept, blurring reality and fiction. These films often receive backlash, bans, and censorship, but they also keep the legend alive. In reality, their content is simulated. But the emotional response they evoke mirrors what people believe they'd feel if snuff films were real. That illusion is powerful. The dark ethics and modern responsibility. Talking about this topic raises major ethical questions. Are we feeding the legend by discussing it? Do we risk inspiring copycats? Can our fascination with violence go too far? As content creators and media consumers, we must remain conscious. Our goal is not to glorify horror but to understand it, to demystify the myth, and to protect others from harmful misinformation or exposure. The final verdict. So, do real snuff films exist? Based on current investigations, historical records, and expert analysis, the answer is no. While real acts of recorded violence exist and circulate in disturbing corners of the internet, no evidence supports the claim that snuff films, murder for profit on camera, exist as a distributed, systematic practice. The legend persists, but the truth seems to lie in myth, panic, and the dark corners of our imagination. Thank you for joining us on this intense and uncomfortable journey into one of the darkest legends of media history. We want to hear from you. Are there videos out there still waiting to be discovered, or is this just another urban legend amplified by the internet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this episode thought-provoking, disturbing, or enlightening, please support the Grim Tapes by liking the video, sharing it, and subscribing to the channel for more in-depth explorations of the darkest corners of our world. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe,